Oh, man, big win, huge win. Third in a row. Fired up for the guys and how they played and the maturity of the team to get better and better every single week. For things not to go perfect, but to come out on the winning side of the ball game is always great. And with that, I'll open up questions.
Yeah, Coach, where you break down the defense's role in the second half and slowing them down and letting y'all be able to pull away here late?
Yeah, it was great, man. We went out there and got a couple stops, held them to a couple three-point plays. 3-point drives there, and really giving us a chance to get rolling on offense, allowing us to run the football. Getting the ball back a couple particular times there with AJ getting his first pick in a long time. Mm-hmm. Having Clark go out there and get his first pick and end the game and to seal that deal, I think is really big for all of us, right? It's all growing moments, and then obviously we'll talk about how do we get our pass rush better and all those things, and we'll do those things. And you got a chance to keep working at those things while you're winning, and that's always a good thing that we want to do. Don't you ever interrupt me again while we win. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It feels like y'all tried a few things offensively, and you kind of settled into what you want to be, and stylistically on offense. Is that accurate?
Josh, I don't know, man. We went out last week and they gave us pass and we threw the ball a bunch. And this week we got out and we got a chance to establish the run, and we went out and did it. We did it with a nice 1-2 punch with Tyler and Bijan. The O-line really took a lot of credit, took a lot of path for that, and Drake London, being that sixth O-lineman, so to speak, and what he's able to do in the run game and all those guys going out there and blocking. I think we just kind of take what they're giving us right now, and the guys are going out there and doing it. And we got enough people in all areas. Terry did a great job of just putting people around, right? I'm sure I'm going to look at the stat sheet, and you guys will be asking me about somebody being more involved. And that's just always going to be the case when you got that many good players. When you got Bijan, Tyler Algier, you got Kyle Pitts, you have Mooney, you got Drake London. Somebody's going to hope, get left out in these type of wins. And that's the type of team we have, and that's the type of stuff I'm proud of.
Coach, how big was that last touchdown drive? The one after you got the big 9 plays, 84 yards. How big was the offensive line trying to putting that game away right there?
I just think anytime you score a touchdown in this league is big, but there's none bigger than when you can run it down, you control the football, eat up clock, score touchdowns, and then just walk away with a win. Those things are huge for us. Those things are huge for our development. That is huge for our football team. That is huge for where we want to go and what we want to be. I loved it.
Clark gets an interception, and he could have gone in for the score there, but he doesn't. Thinking of the team first, unselfish. What do you think about that?
That's this football team. There's a bunch of guys going to give him a bunch of stuff on the sideline for not scoring, but I tell you what, man, that is a young heads-up play by a young man to end the football game right there, not put the defense back out there, allow some of the yards to come up and be able to do those things, and you end the football game, you win games, and that is a smart play by a young football player, and I'm so proud of him.
The importance of winning 3 in a row against division foes, they all seem to count extra, right?
Anytime you talk about playing in the South, that's kind of what we set out, right? We talk about outrunning the South, and you get a chance to get 3 wins in the South in back-to-back fashion. That is always awesome, and that's what we want to be about, and you don't want to put any extra credit on 3 wins in a row, but, why not just keep winning? Why not us? Somebody's got to do it.
How does Tyler's running style impact the second half of games?
You already wrote this story, but Josh, he is heavy, man. He is a tough tackle. He can run through arms. He can run through people. He can force his will on his opponent at any given moment. I tease him all the time, but he is certainly hard to tackle, and he enjoys doing it, and he likes doing it, and he embraces his role.
From a defensive point of view, with your defensive hat on, how demoralizing is that late in games if your defense is tired when a team does what y'all did to them?
That's tough, when you got to go out there and try to stop people from running the football and try to get your offense some more possessions, and you can't, and you got 2 running backs coming at you that look fresh, and the O-line coming off the ball the way they come off the ball with the speed off the ball like we teach and we preach. You can't give Letford, you can't give Flatch, you can't give Nick Jones enough credit for the front behavior and how we went out there and played it. Our coaching staff, Zach for calling it and staying with it. All those guys, man, 2 different styles and how we won football games, and that is impressive. When you got to go look at that tape and look at cut-ups and you're saying that they're able to do anything they want to do, that's impressive, and that's impressive by our offense.
Coach, you always talk about how you never look in the past, you always moving forward, but to win this game, to close it out, first time you had a win like this season, can you talk about the growth of the team and what they've grown or what they've learned from this win?
I think you learn more from the other games, right? The one-possession games when you got to stay poised, you got to stay in the moment. And I think these guys this week getting the lead and staying in the moment and staying poised allowed us to be able to finish the game the right way. Because you got to play to the last whistle, and that's what they did. So, the development and the growth of this football team, I hate to even call them young because they're playing such a mature level. And I love it. And it's the teaching that's involved. It's the support that's involved. It's everything all around the board. So they did a nice job.
What did you see from Kirk? It seemed like he was a little bit off at the start, but obviously finished a lot better.
I don't know. I just think when you go out there at quarterback, there's always going to be throws you miss and throws you want back. But, I thought he managed the situation well. I thought he played well. I'm not sure exactly what his stats say. I feel about that. But I know he was able to go out there and get some critical third downs. I believe we were 70%, somewhere close to that in third downs. I'm not counting the, the kneel downs and things of that nature. But I was fired up with our performance on an offense standpoint. I was fired up with our team performance on a whole team all around perform up. There'll always be things you want to go back and correct. There'll always be throws you want to go back and have back for Kurt or for whoever. But the nature of the beast, man, we got some wins.
AJ got his first interception in a few seasons. Just how big was that stop?
AJ couldn't get interceptions until I came back, and he just showed you. And he just showed you guys today. No, I'm just kidding. No, man, it was fun to watch AJ go. Go ahead, finish your questions. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just how big was that interception for him?
Man, anytime AJ gets his hand on the ball and makes those kind of plays, that's what's going to separate him from being a very good corners league to one of the elites. And we feel like we got one of the elites, and that's why we're fortunate to have him on our football team. We were fortunate enough to draft him. We were fortunate enough to be able to keep him. We were fortunate to be able to roll him over and get him a new deal. And it's the right decision when the team reacts how they reacted when we gave him that deal. And, he's just showing improvement to us every single week. We give him tough matchups against some of the best wideouts in the world. And he had another one today in Deontay Johnson, and he went out there and he answered the bell, and he was awesome for us.
Aside from finding the end zone, Tyler and Bijan, the little things that they do to help this offense go, how important is that between the two of them?
We talked about it the whole year, but to watch those guys pick up blitzes and put their face on big people and big men running through gaps to try to hit Kurt, to keep people off of him, that is impressive. To watch those guys take the handoff and take the fake to open up some of our play action games, that's impressive. And those guys have been big for us all year. No matter what stats say, no matter what we ask them to do, they do. They play together. They're each other's biggest, supporters. And I'm so proud of them.
It seemed like the second quarter was when you were able to try to give them separation from Carolina, had those 2 touchdowns.
We did.
What was working well in the second quarter?
Everything at that point. We're able to run the football. We're able to throw the football. We're able to get a couple stops until that last drive. If we can have that back, that's how you want to be able to close out halves. That would be the difference between, even being a little bit closer than it was. And, you're always going to search for those things. This is an imperfect game where you're searching for perfection. So those things will always happen, and we'll always be able to correct those things.
Any update on Abernathy and Simmons?
I don't know about Abernathy. Didn't look great. I'll be able to give you something on that. Simmons, we took out precautionary, but and we got really good players too. They would have kicked Grant out there and Richie and let him go play, and that was good to see him go out there and play well.
What did you feel like was the difference in the run game from last week to this week?
It wasn't so many people in the box. If you put that many people in the box, and you're going to dictate terms on how you throw the football. And we got yards off at a good clip last week and a good average. And we threw it 58 times where it looked really good and threw for 500 yards. And this week we were able to run for 200. And that's a good football team. That is a sign of a really good football team when you got to find ways to try to beat them. And we're taking what you're giving us and going out there and dealing.